There is no way of getting to know a person in the span of one day.
No.
The human personality is so expansive and complex that to get to know a person, you cannot do it in a day or a week or a month or a year.
A lifetime even, dude. Like you don't ever even know yourself.
You need a retarded amount of time to get to know a single human being. And now imagine 8 billion of us. That equation gets so fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it is everybody's responsibility to have that with everybody else. I don't think that's possible. I'm sorry, I don't.
It's not.
It's
not.
It's not possible, but you can
It's
have
not.
that with the 10 people around you. And
Do you know, I love the story of Jesus. And I love
Okay.
how he reached out and touched so many people's lives. And in that story, I can't help but think about the people in South America that never got to meet Jesus.
Yeah, that never got to meet Jesus.
People
Yeah,
in
they weren't good
Australia,
enough
people
to-
people in England and shit like that, they didn't fucking get to know the guy. He was in Israel and shit.
Like it was so okay, and then suddenly it was Friday.
Yeah, dude, like I like almost forgot about the podcast today. I was like, what day is it again?
Is anyone joining as a guest today?
I don't think so. Like I sent Jovan, the chick that was gonna be on last week, a message again, and I was like, oh, I know it's short notice. I'm sorry, but she was like, nah, she got right now. She's working. I was like, oh, it's okay. Completely my bad.
I think it'll be nice to have an OG, just the three of us.
I think
It's
so
been
as
a
well.
while.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking the
man.
same thing when I was like, I was not too disappointed, if you will.
What did you do today, Estian? You said you were quite tired as well.
Well, I danced for an hour and 40 minutes this morning, and then I've been
Homie, I
busy.
saw the video the link you sent me this morning, man. You look so damn happy. It's actually the first time I've watched one of your dancing videos,
Yo,
and
dude,
I
his
love
dancing
it, my
videos
friend.
are amazing. I watched them as well the other day.
I absolutely love it, man. I love the energy. You've got this fucking flowing, beautiful energy, man.
I'm giving it to the world, dude. I think the world is in desperate need of it right now,
And you're
man.
getting a lot of views, eh? You're getting a crap ton of comments. Guys, another thing I want to mention, I've taken up the endeavor to stop swearing.
Nah,
Okay,
fuck off. I'm not.
Christian
Why?
Vitrichenko is not gonna swear anymore.
Yeah. I've now tried to replace all of my swear words with PG content.
Excuse me, but why?
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Why? I realize I swear too much. It's good once in a while, you know, to express emotions, but it kind of loses its value in common conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's
If
see,
you're
but
constantly if you're constantly swearing like every second word and every sentence, you know, it kind of loses its value. If the one thing I've noticed is people that never swear like at all, and then once in a while you hear them let loose and they suddenly pull out the R-rated content and you're like, oh crap, okay, this is
Did-
like really
Yeah,
serious.
serious shit now.
did you watch Castlevania, the new season?
I did.
You
It's so
motherfucker! I
good.
knew it! I fucking knew it when you said it!
Mm,
You waifu, bro. She can't have
This kind of
that
thing,
much
waifu.
influence.
Yeah, she's
Yo.
proper. She's proper waifu material, man. I love her.
Yo, wow, okay. But fair enough, fair enough. She is proper waifu material.
Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me?
No.
That woman is the strongest. Like the strongest out of all three of them. It's not even a joke.
Nah, dude, I love the one. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I want people to go experience the beauty that is that. But where they're in the catacombs and she's just like, "Fuck it, I'm done with this," and like lightning, fire, and ice, and just obliterates everything in front of her, and you're like, "Okay, that was actually really easy."
Yeah, dude, she holds back a lot, man.
Yo,
and I
dude.
really do. If she wanted to, she could kill Belmont and Alucard easy.
No. Also, now this is important because Reynard didn't like the ending, and we're gonna not talk. We're gonna talk about the ending without talking about the ending. Did you like the ending? Because it's wholesome.
I
As
honestly,
fuck.
I honestly thought it was the best ending out of all the Castlevania seasons so far.
You, me, and Reynard are gonna have words, bro, when we see each other again. I'm telling you that now. Reynard is not gonna stand back. He despised the ending.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a little bit of an ass pull, for Belmont to kill Death. Sorry, I don't. Are we recording already?
Yeah, we are, but I'll censor it. I'm gonna go censor it with we won't spoil.
Yeah, apologies for the people out there. I didn't mean to spoil anything, but yeah, it was a bit of an ass pull near the end. But despite that, like the last episode, the very last episode where everything was over already,
Yeah.
I thought that was incredibly beautiful.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great ending.
Bro, Lenore, I'm so sad for her, but I understand.
Even me, I really hoped Lenore and Hector could make it work, but I also appreciated the relationship.
Yeah.
I appreciated why it had to happen that way.
I'm sorry, Estienne, you're just here listening to us fangirl.
I'm chilling. I'm like literally drawing. Like, this is the nice thing about it. Like, Christian, you were asking what I've been up to as well, dude. Like, after I danced, I started with this. So let me do this basic ghetto.
What am I looking at? Put it a little more to the right. Oh snap, dude! What is that?
Dude, it's sick.
Is that me in 5 years, dude?
Maybe, like this is actually one of the other streamer dudes on Arpan, dude. He's called Uncle Becky on the platform, and he's like coming up on a year. He's like one of the OG Reddit streamers. He did like a little piece for me as well, and then
Wow.
like I was like, yeah, since it's a 1 year coming for him, I'm gonna do something for him as well, man. And now I'm up and busy.
Nice, bro.
Dope, man. What a crazy community. How we've just transferred to the interwebs like that.
Dude, it is.
How we make genuine human connection over virtual reality.
So, okay, now this is territory that I don't know if I can breach. Now this is where I'm actually sitting at such a. Chris, can you remember what the laws are for talking about intellectual property or ideas?
Poppy?
Because, like, no, like, I want to give an idea that currently is one of our big projects for this year, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to put it on the internet. Huh. Damn.
Like
Okay, well, I don't know, but in anyways, what I will I won't name anything, but I'll give the idea for it, which I think is really cool. So the idea is basically to simulate an office environment in a Discord server-esque. So you go, and the idea I have is to basically make spatial audio a thing. So you join the server and you drop your icon wherever you want it to be in a modeled office environment by the office administrator. And then depending on where you are, you can hear everybody else in the office. And it has spatial audio directing where everybody is and how much you hear about everybody. And then if a moderator comes in, it ups it a little bit. And this idea of creating this like environment where people can go sit in like a live environment with spatial audio and everything is way unique to me. Imagine like
it's really cute. It's really cute, Johan. I think it's a step in the right direction. But with the technology that we have available today, you can literally take that and up it by 1,000. Put on like a headset, a virtual reality headset, right? You know those things
that was what I was thinking as well. It's like
stick in front of your eyes, and that sort of thing. And literally, you can simulate that office environment, and then you have a controller or something like that, and you could be like, "Cool, I want to move from this place to this other place."
Dude,
the problem the problem I see with that is it's just more neglection of
The
the
body.
human body, man.
Yeah.
And this is what terrifies me is we're rapidly moving towards, almost like uploading our brains into the internet space. Um, we won't need our bodies anymore. We can, especially as programmers. I mean, there's no need for it. All you can just move code around with your freaking brain.
Mm. That's
And
it's gonna be interesting,
and that's the
dude.
problem. We're still very bound to this fleshy thing, man. And that's what people are forgetting these days more and more, is we're becoming more attached to um the the cyber tech that's around us.
I think
And
I think it's a thing where people are gonna have to be more aware of what they're doing. Like, you're gonna have to understand that you can't spend your entire time in VR. It's not healthy. It just isn't. You need to spend time outside and actually think about your life and your thoughts and let them take them in rather than just abandoning them and getting the easy dopamine.
here's the very interesting argument for that. Back in the day, we used to constantly use our bodies. We'd get up, we'd
Yeah.
have to hunt, we'd have to run after our prey, we'd have to capture it, skin it, put it on a fire, eat it. All of this is like actively using your body. The only time you wouldn't be using your body is when you're asleep, right?
Mm.
But now with modern times, we've moved towards most people around the world, and I really do mean most people around the world, are actually sitting in an office right now, slouched over their keyboard, staring at a screen. They're not using their bodies,
Mm.
not the way that they were built. And this has been happening for generations now, and we're moving more and more towards that direction. It's terrifying to see the effects of that on the body. And you really
Yeah.
do see the effects of people that have been working in an office environment for a very long time. They're not flexible, they're not strong, they're very fragile, actually. And
Yeah.
in fact, their constitution drops drastically. Their life expectancy drops drastically. Because on top of that, they're also coming back home after a tiring day of mental exertion, and then they drink and they smoke. And I'm one of them right now. I'm only seeing the surface of the iceberg.
Yeah, see, that's why I've actually, it's really funny to me that this is a theme that's been going around today. I'm gonna roll a joint in the theme. And the theme is mental health and body health. And it's this that people yeah.
It's equally important.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50. And currently, let alone the body problem that we have, do you know how many people are depressed, bro? Do you know how many people are
Dude.
sad? And they are sad, and so they can't actually see and get better because they're depressed. You're depressed. Everything looks more difficult than it is. Everything looks impossible to you. And so
You're in a very deep mental hole.
yeah.
And the reason for that is that the lack of utilizing the body bleeds into the mental space. So
I think so
the
as
fact
well.
that it's part of life. You were born into this world, a fleshy, screaming, bony thing. You were given this gift. You're meant to use this gift. We're not using it. We're using it less and less every day, and that inevitably, from our very nature. I mean, if you think about it from a biological sort of instinct way, you're still an animal, right? And the brain is hardwired in such a way that if you're not using this body, something is wrong.
Yeah, that, and
So
it wants to be efficient, so it's going to stop giving your body as much resources.
exactly. And you can't, even though you know what's happening, even though you're trying to tell your brain, hey man, this is the way it's meant to be, don't worry, everything is fine, don't be depressed, it'll be depressed anyway.
Yeah.
It's built upon tens of thousands of years of evolution this way. If you're not moving around, if you're not hunting, you're either sick, you're unevolved, it means you're on the lower point of the food chain, you're not going to reproduce, this leads to other hormones and chemicals being released into your body, and your body says like we're useless, we're pointless,
Yeah.
we have no purpose.
Yeah, dude, and if your body starts getting worse, your serotonin levels drop, and as your serotonin levels drop, your thought of where you are on the food chain drops as well. And the lower you are on that food chain, at least respective to your brain, mean the worse off you're gonna feel, and the worse off you're gonna feel that the world is treating you because you're not equipped to fight it anymore. And it's such an important part of, you need to use your body, you need to use your mind, you need to stay healthy, bro. Something I thought about the other day is, this weekend we took, it wasn't the most ideal weekend. I still had to do work. Like, I got back Sunday and I started working because I took the time off. But the reason that I took it was because that day that we spent talking and sitting together and relaxing was so worth it for my mental health that I was so ready to do the work again, rather than just being slouchy and angry and kind of annoyed at the world. I now look at it, I'm like, whoa, this is bright, this is awesome, let's go for this. I've got new ideas, I'm reinvigorated. And I think that's so important. People aren't taking it. They're getting so caught up just working.
Because they can't. They can't.
Do you think it's really that bad? Do you like?
It's that bad.
Honestly, think it's that bad.
I honestly think it's that bad. From my experience in the work environment, people will leech from you as much as they can get because they're trying to run a business. The more you work, the more money they make, the more progress they make. So they will take every single step they can to leech as much work out of you as possible. And they guilt trip you over it on top of that. And they also penalize you for not putting in the effort. So, and this is just from Monday to Friday that I'm talking about, the extent that they have a reach over you. If I'm terrible language right now, but the only time you really are given an opportunity to rest is in the late afternoons. And in the late afternoons, you have to cook for yourself. You have to clean up what you can in the house. You have to get ready for the next day. You have to iron your clothes. You have to, prepare and all of that. And then you get Saturday and Sunday. And that's considered your rest time, right? But in that time, you also have to go shopping. You also have to go make sure that you have everything that you need to start the next week.
So
you're not really resting.
So you don't think it's a money issue, you think it's a time issue?
I do think it's both.
That's so sad.
It is. It's a terrible, terrible trap, but you know what? It's the most efficient solution we've found so far. It is, for all of these things that you're putting in so much time and effort and energy into, you get a nice house, you get clean water, nice food, electricity, warmth. It's all a trade-off in many ways if you see it from a certain perspective. I don't think it's the healthiest way right now that we could do so much better as a society, as a humankind globally, but we just haven't gone through the necessary steps, the necessary mistakes and sacrifices to see that we can do better yet. I mean, we have the idea in our minds, but again, it's this battle against everything that has been up to this point. A new idea can only become reality after it's conquered everything in the past.
See, this is actually a thing that I've been thinking. Oh shit! I haven't had my camera on this whole time.
You have. I just didn't want to say anything.
The fucking asshole! I've been focusing this whole time.
Okay, Jon Snow. Okay. It's nice to see your face, though.
I'm sorry.
Yo, Estian, I just have to mention this before anything else. You look ridiculously like Jon Snow, bro. Like if you had black hair and a black beard.
I see what you mean.
You look exactly like Jon Snow, dude.
I don't have any of it recorded though. Don't worry. None of your face hasn't been recorded.
I'm like super chill. I don't mind actually. Like, thank you, Christian. Like, I feel like I've been getting this, the Jon Snow thing like daily for the longest time as well, dude. So you're not alone in your opinion of that, fortunately. But one thing we do have
It's
in
a good thing.
common,
He's a handsome boy.
yeah, he is, dude. One thing we do have in common, fortunately, is that we both know nothing.
Ish.
Yeah, so do the rest of us, bro. Join the club.
Yeah, join the club. Now, what were you gonna talk about, motherfucker?
Yes, yes. So, like, something that I wanted to say, and this is something I was like trying to get at this weekend as well, is this whole, obsession we have with tradition. Like, and as you said, Christian, like we always have this like mindset in society that the only way that we can really get to this point where we're going to now change things is to abolish these old traditions. And how do we do that in an ethical and a sustainable way? Because like we don't want to continue moving forward in a dominating way. Like we've been trying to do it that way for the longest time now. It hasn't worked. We can't continue doing it that way. That's at least how I feel about it.
The best analogy I can give you is imagine a person that is like 50 years old, right? And his entire life he's been raised believing the Christian religion. And I mean his entire life. He's followed the laws of God. He's read the Bible over 50 times. He's gone to church every Sunday. Everybody that is around him constantly preaches the word of God and makes sure that he's following the right path and that sort of thing. And then suddenly life comes along and says, okay, but what if all of that is bullshit? You've spent literally what, like 2/3 of your life? 2/3 of your whole life believing this one thing, and then life comes along and says, okay, but what if it's a lie? You don't want to believe it's a lie. You don't want to change. You spent too long of your existence believing in this thing. There's no way you can change at that point. It would destroy everything that you are. And that's the hurdle that we're faced with as humanity.
See, now is my thought on not changing when you're older. And I think it's a really, really ignorant way of looking at the world. Because that sounds so bad, but I'm gonna use my grandmother as an example. She once told me that it was taking all of her strength to realize that what she thought about the world was actually wrong. And she's putting all of her energy into it to try and learn the correct way. And it's hard. She says it's so difficult to change after having had that much time spent on thinking in a certain way. But your mentality in everything you do in life, day to day, should be, whoa, that's a better idea. Huh. Okay, let me think.
Now I'm gonna throw crowd mentality at you.
Okay. So now you have a big crowd doing it, but that
as an individual, it's not that hard to change your mind. And yes, it is an admirable task, especially when you spent the majority of your life believing in a certain thing. It is more than admirable. It is in fact commendable. It is beautiful. It is something that should be praised. For a person that was raised his entire life, and I know this is a terrible example, but for someone that is raised his entire life seeing blacks as the worst thing in the world, seeing them as stupid, ugly, smelly, destroying creatures. This is like a lot of Eastern Europe through the past. Now you have to change your mind and see them as equal human beings. And people do try on an individual level. Everybody is trying. But now throw crowd mentality into that. And if one person says like, yes, it's so hard to see these people as equals, and then another person says, yeah, bro, it's fuck hard. You're completely right. Yeah, like screw them. They're terrible, man. Yeah, you're right. They're fucking shit. Do you see what I mean? And then it's like another third person joins that conversation, a fourth one sharing that exact idea.
Yeah, it's gonna take enough people to be able to resist that. That's just the answer. It's gonna take a big enough crowd inside the crowd to change their minds, and that's how everything happens. Like you have a small minority that slowly builds up their thought until it touches enough people that becomes the new thought.
Yeah, and that takes
long,
not just time but conscious active effort.
I agree.
What you are saying, or what the idea that we're tackling right now is that we want to take this skinny ass, muscleless, uh, anorexic person, and we want to make him this buff ass Giga Chad, right?
Giga chat.
You know, in the span of like what, a couple of hours. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. This person needs to eat on a daily basis. This person needs to exercise on a daily basis for at least 2 years to become that.
See, I agree.
And that's the process that I think we are following right now as a species. It's just taking
Taking forever.
long, and humans are impatient.
Yeah. It's because the problem that we're facing with how long we live is that we live very long compared to other creatures on this planet. Like ridiculously long. But in the grand scheme of the universe, it's nothing. And so I feel like there are some people that are viewing that as like really impatient because come on, get your shit done, we don't have all day. And some people are viewing it as, yeah, we have eternity, don't worry about it, brother. And I think that's currently the issue, but in my opinion there's also the issue of but I don't think enough people are talking about it. I think Estien's putting in a valiant effort and a lot of people to try and get more people on the idea. And I need to start at some point, but it's hard because changing older people's opinions is very difficult. And then I think the reason
No, Johan, it's not just difficult, it's impossible to change all people's opinions. It's impossible to change everybody's opinion. You can change the majority.
I said old.
Oh, old. Sorry,
not
old
all.
people.
Yeah, but all it is impossible. Yeah, because the reason I said old is because I meant like people that have grown up in a different era spend most of their life believing something because that was the best option out of the information they've been given. That was something that really broadened my perspective on it. Everybody just does their best, and you do the best with the information you have. And if the only information you've gotten about black people is negative, then it's going to be very hard to be positive about it. But if you do not change when you are presented with new information that is better and more appealing, then you have a very big issue. Then that's bigger than any issue. That's a personal problem. That's an egotistical problem. Like
do you know what I found very interesting recently that I discovered? There is no way of getting to know a person in the span of one day.
No.
The human personality is so expansive and complex that to get to know a person, you cannot do it in a day or a week or a month or a year.
A lifetime even, dude. Like you'll never even know yourself.
You need a retarded amount of time to get to know a single human being. And now imagine 8 billion of us. that equation gets so fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it is everybody's responsibility to have that with everybody else. I don't think that's possible. I'm sorry, I don't.
It's not.
It's not possible, but you can have that with the 10 people around you. And
do you know I love the story of Jesus, and I love how he reached out and touched so many people's lives. And in that story, I can't help but think about the people in South America that never got to meet Jesus.
Yeah, that never got to meet Jesus.
People in Australia, people in England and shit like that, they didn't fucking get to know the guy. He was in Israel and shit.
All of those miracles they missed out on, dude.
Yo, dude, what I would give to go see if they had really happened, bro.
Dude, what I would give to just sit down and have a chat with Jesus, dude.
Yo, bro, actually, Jesus, if your spirit is out there, please let me know.
It would be the most wholesome chat you've ever had, bro.
100%, dude. I believe that Jesus was just very awakened, dude.
He wouldn't try to outsmart you. He wouldn't try to be better with you. He wouldn't try to thrust wisdom onto you. At least this is my vision of him. I don't know about the rest of the world or anything like that. I don't think, that conversation we had with your dad over the weekend, Estian.
Yo.
Yes,
It was hectic. Oh.
it was hectic. It was hectic.
Dude, like it's tough, dude, because he confronts you with these ideas, these ways of thinking, right? And to give our listeners a little bit of more context, my dad has this like list he basically takes you through. He asks you, have you ever lied? Have you ever like stolen something? Have you ever looked at a woman with lust or a man with lust? Have you ever had like hatred in your heart? And the last one is, have you ever used God's name in vain? And then most people say yes to basically all of these questions. And then my dad is like, so you're a liar, adulterer, thieving, murderous, blasphemer at heart.
Piece of crap.
Yeah, like literally, like this is what you are as a human being, and now you have to repent in order to just, be what you are, what you've been made to be, literally. And I'm like, no.
I admire that in him because all he's trying to do is save your soul. He's trying to save you, bro. I can see it from his perspective. I really do. The
But what do
problem
I-
is that perspective is infinite.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah, that's the thing.
infinite. Like, nobody has the same perspective. Everybody thinks about everything differently. Blanket statements do not work. And anybody that thinks they do is full of shit. Blanket statements do not work.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Absolutes.
One of the best quotes in Star Wars.
Dude, everything is perspective driven. Everybody, even fucking time, bro. Like, if we agree that time is relative to you, then literally everything else is. It's fucking insane to me that there are still people that think, I don't want to say so close-minded, but what's the right word here? It's indoctrinated is the right word.
Linearly.
Linearly is a good word. That's the word. Thank you. Because yeah. I like.
People are very caught in linear ways of thinking, dude, where they almost lose the capacity to imagine. And I think that's basically where our world went awry, is by losing that capacity to like think of our future generations. Man, like we're heading for a disaster.
I don't think so. I think we're constantly thinking of our future generations. The problem is that we've set rules for how our future generations should live.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, almost
I-
like
I'm sorry for
Ambitions.
interrupting. Okay, please go.
no, please, say what you want to
So-
say, friend.
What I had this conversation with one of my friends just now, like literally right before the podcast, and that was, you have a kid now, okay? You've decided you want to have a kid. I want everybody that's listening to take that as a thought experiment. You've decided you want kids, but everybody's religious. Everybody is somehow has a belief system in place. Now comes the question, do you teach your kid that belief system? And I don't mean morals, I mean your belief, your religious belief, your way of thinking about the world, or do you teach him the bare minimum and let him go and keep doing your life? And the reason I ask is because if I take you, let's say the way my brain currently works is you meditate a day, every day. I don't have a religious idea, but if I were to take my kid and every time I do my meditation, I sit down and I explain to him why I'm doing my meditation and ask him to do it with me. He's a kid. He doesn't know better. I'm the first person that's interacting with him and giving him these ideas. So you're, in a sense, indoctrinating your kid towards this idea because you're not letting him explore. You're taking him
Absolutely.
down one path. So in my mind, something like that should be very left alone. Kids should be taught the right and wrong. There are fundamental right and wrongs. Don't take what isn't yours. Like, don't stab somebody. There are some fundamental core principles, but your belief system in the world should not be forced onto your kid. And that's the thing that traditions has caused so much issues with, because it's a belief system that's transcended time.
I'd like to take a bit of an optimistic viewpoint in terms of that argument.
Okay.
I'd like to believe it doesn't really matter what you try and teach your kid. It doesn't really matter how hard you fight for it. It doesn't really matter how many times you take them to church, how many times you sit them down for a meditation, how many times you feed them mushrooms. I feel like they would find their own path anyway, and they will believe what they want to believe based on circumstances of their lives.
See, I think
Like,
so as well because it happened to me. I was in a Christian school and then I hated Christianity because I was in a Christian school. And then I went so many different ways and now I've ended up where I am and I was always going to head this way, but my parents let me do it. They never forced me to go to church or anything like that. So if you're making that argument that they are going to find their own way anyways, why force them to do it? Why sit them down? Live your own life and let your kid explore. If he wants to sit
that's
down with a meditation today and tomorrow he wants to go to a Hindu school, take him. Let him explore. Let him find his own way.
that's the funny thing is you say like force them to do these things. And the amazing thing from my own personal experience that I still remember from my childhood, when you're forcing kids to do things, they will do it because they love you and they respect you as a parent. They will do it. They will go to church with you every damn Sunday. They will sit with you and they will be the exemplary person you expect them to be. But in their hearts, something else is happening. Something else entirely. And that only comes into fruition when they break away from their parents, when they're no longer bound to their parents. And this is an inevitable thing that happens, whether it be when you are 50, when your parents pass away at that age. That point comes one way or another where you realize they're not here anymore. They're not here to enforce the things that they have been trying to put onto me their entire lives. Now it's just me. And suddenly, everything that you've been holding in your heart comes out, and you say, now I live my life my way. And yes, there will always be that little bit of dust or sparkles that is left behind, you know, from all of their efforts, from all of their beliefs. Always, there will be that thing. But you're the one that decides how much of an effect that has on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
agree.
people are, you can call it indoctrination, you can call it brainwashing, sure. But that is a reflection of the person that you are. You didn't have to choose to be brainwashed. You didn't have to believe in the things just because your parents believed in. You didn't
Yeah.
have to.
You
We all
know,
have free choice. We
you-
all have free will.
yeah. That's actually a really interesting point about it. Yeah. Sounds
And the
really
thing I
bad.
think about it, so Christian, like I don't completely agree with what you're saying actually, because this is the way that I think about it, dude. Like and it comes almost back to like just the mind of a child. If you're a kid and you see like this, you know, little round little circle on a stove top, and your mom says, "Don't touch that, you know, round little circle," and you're like, "Man, I'm really curious about what that round circle does," and you exercise your free will, and you burn yourself. Instantly, that literally singes a memory into your brain of, oh, my mom said this thing, I didn't listen to her, and then the thing happened that she said is going to happen to me. And unfortunately, what happens is because we're so pliable as children, the same thing happens with religion and stuff like that as well. Like we believe what our parents say with such, you know, certainty because we have some, you know, circumstantial evidence that shows us that maybe sometimes the things they say are true. But the problem is it's not always like that. And it's especially not like that after a certain point, because sure, your parents have to keep you alive, keep you from pushing your fingers into, you know, sockets, touching hot stove tops. But after a certain point, like those lessons that they have to teach you kind of need to like speak for themselves, and you need to start to learn things for yourself.
But
But some
do
people
you
don't want to
agree?
do that. Some people want to continue being told what to do.
Do you agree with me though that it's still your choice?
Yeah, that I do agree. It's still a choice, but I understand why it's a difficult choice for a lot of people.
Yeah, that actually,
This
I like
is
that as a middle point because sometimes it's
this
very
is
hard.
this is where bravery and self-belief comes in. And I can promise you it's so much easier said than done.
I remember you
But
talking about
sometimes,
self-belief this weekend as well, dude.
yeah, sometimes you gotta jump off that cliff and believe there are warm waters waiting for you down there. And sometimes you fall down and you get impaled by stalagmites. Sure.
Sometimes.
And you learn from that, and you grow from that, and you make your own decisions from that. But you have to take the leap, because you won't know if you don't take that leap.
See, I'm gonna take the middle ground between your two arguments because I think it is that circumstantial evidence that you learn about what your parents say. You very quickly learn, especially at least the kids that had internet access, you very quickly learn the difference between absolute truths and non-absolute truths. I don't know what the other one is. You learn that your parents are right about certain things because that's just how the world is. If you drop the heavy thing on top of your foot, it is going to break it. Don't drop heavy things on your foot. And those things become very easy and absolute. Don't stand, if your parents say you don't stand in the way of a swinging golf club, don't stand in the way of a swinging golf club because you've made other correlations about what happens when you get hit by a golf stick. But something, but something like a religious belief or a belief system about the world, you start doing a little bit of research, or not even research, just looking around. You just start growing up a little bit, and you very quickly realize that circumstantial evidence is entirely up to each individual. And I figured that out when I was 11. 11 was the time I started looking away from Christianity, and the reasoning is that maybe everybody doesn't know what's going on, and so I stopped believing outrightly my parents in certain aspects of the world, and in others I still concretely believe in what they tell me. It's still like that to the day. So
I think it's a very funny balancing act when someone tells you this is the absolute truth and there is no turning away from it. That stove is going to burn you to hell if you put your hand on it. What about the people that have no feeling in their hand?
I knew you were gonna go with that literally as a
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like the people that I don't know, for example, went through a terrible life accident and they had all of their nerve endings burned out of their hands. When they put their hands
It's
on
actually
actually
just
a
like a
disease.
neurological disease, yeah.
that just stops
you from
pain
feeling pain.
receptors.
they don't feel it. Sure, their hand is burning. It's definitely burning. It's on fire, but they're not feeling it. You can't tell that person that you will definitely feel pain when you put your hand on this thing. You know, there are too many variables, too many alternatives.
Yeah, okay.
And religion does not cater for those things. It sets absolutes. And that's where man, and this is the problem, is we cannot live life without a certain set of absolutes. You know, if you hang yourself, you're going to die. It's an absolute. If you slap another person, that person is going to feel pretty shit about it. That's an absolute. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I say that you need to, like, as kids, you'll learn very quickly to recognize absolutes from subjective.
It's incredibly hard to live your life objectively. And I love Alan Watts. I love Alan Watts so much because he was a Western man, an English professor that went and explored Eastern philosophy, right? And he actually started implementing it and living it in his own existence.
Yeah.
And
then he started talking about it.
He was one of the forerunners of trying to bring Eastern philosophy into the Western world, so to broaden perspective and just try and expand on the things that we think are certain. I love the man for that, but he also went a bit too far into it. You know, he also started making absolutes out of it.
It's so hard, bro.
It's so hard. It is so hard, and I don't blame anyone. Not a single person. If you're going to live your life as a completely Christian person, believing in God and believing in all of the things that they taught, if you're going to live your life as a Muslim person, believing in Allah and Muhammad, live your life. If you're gonna be a fucking Buddhist and believe in Buddha and go up into the mountains and become a Buddhist monk, live your life that way. There is no correct answer in this. Life is life. Whether you die tomorrow, whether you live for 100 years, it's all the same at the end of the day. Whether you make mistakes, whether you've killed a person, we're all leaving this place as equals. Even the worst psychotic serial murderer is still going to die the same way that you're going to die, still going to leave this planet alone, the same way you're going to leave this planet alone.
See, the only caveat I want to add to that is that you can live your life as you want to. The moment it starts negatively impacting other people is a problem. And that's something where I think saying they are very close to absolutes in treating people the right way. That is something I do want to actually, I've been looking at the stuff that's happening in Palestine and Israel at the moment. And
Shit.
bro, it's disgusting.
It's hectic.
It's sad.
horrible.
I want to cry, bro. Kids,
it's
bro.
a religion problem, right?
Yeah, I
That
know it's a
whole-
religion problem.
It is-
Bro,
it
it's
is a
been a
religion
religion
problem.
problem for 4,000 years.
Like, how are you missiling people because they don't believe the thing you believe?
Bro,
Like,
it
what?
blows my mind. How? Listen, no. And this is,
Here's the best answer. Here's the best answer. Fuck you. That's why.
bro, but how? How can you look at somebody else and go, that person thinks differently from me? They cry the same way, they have the same mission, they have a mother, they have a father, they have a son, but they think differently than me, so I'm gonna shoot you. And also the saddest reality is nobody will accept it, but Islamic, Judaism and Muslim all stem off Christianity. They're pretty much the same religion.
Well,
How are you
actually, funny enough, it was actually around the same time that they came into existence. So they kind of branched off from another religion, which was
Wasn't it the Mesopotamian one?
It was the concept of Yahweh. So they branched off from that. The Christians started believing in God and in Jesus, and the Muslims started believing in
Allah.
Muhammad and Allah. And it all branched off of Yahweh. So now,
So now
how do you,
now
what?
Now the issue is, and this is what my point is you can live your life. Everybody has the right to believe whatever the fuck they want. Do it compassionately. That is the only caveat to your life. Be compassionate. Stop being a dick about everything.
But that was the basis of almost every religion.
It is.
Don't be a cunt. Don't be a cunt.
Nobody
It's
listens.
The Taoism, Buddhism, Muslims, Islams, what do you call it? Hinduism,
Spiritualism
all
as
of-
well.
all of it comes down to literally do not be a piece of crap. Don't be a piece of crap to your fellow man. Don't be a piece of crap to your environment. Don't be a piece of crap to yourself. Literally, you can boil it down to the simple phrase of don't be a piece of crap.
Yeah.
All of the religions boil down to this simple phrase, and I have met so many wonderful, beautiful, infinitely powerful souls that follow that without the need of a religion. And
Yeah.
people still see them as blaspheming pieces of crap. And I'm like, they are more religious than you will ever be.
Yeah, that's why when we were talking about
They are not pieces of crap. They don't have to believe in anything, but they are basically following every single religion on this planet. Have you watched Life of Pi?
I saw it when I was like 11. I need to rewatch it.
I loved Life of Pi because Pi went out and he was like, cool, I'm gonna go exploring every single one of the religions. Every single one. I'm going to explore it, I'm going to live it, I'm going to implement it in my life. And do you know what the conclusion he came to was? The exact same one we were talking about just now. Don't be a piece of crap.
Don't be a piece of crap.
Be a good person. Be
Like,
a good ass person.
It's
Be
so
kind.
simple.
Be loving. Be compassionate. Be full of life. Be weird. Be funny. Relax. Be silly.
dude.
The second you start crapping on this life in any sort of form, you start saying, "Oh, this is so crap. I have to wake up in the morning to go to work. Oh, this is so crap. I hate this person at work. Oh, this is so crap. The sky is too bright. I can't fucking stand it."
Yeah, that sentence in one of the song I played for you, where the line is you didn't even notice the distinct lack of color in the world. It's such a sad but true thing, dude. Soul also did a really good job of envisioning people like get trapped and lose the light of the world and seeing what
Well,
happens around them.
man, I loved Soul so much because it encompassed basically everybody on the. We are all chasing after this one idea that we believe will make us happy. All of
Yeah,
us.
or a spark,
On
dude. Something.
it is a human enigma. There is no fighting it. I don't care who you are. There's always something that you chase after in this life that you believe will make you happy, be it spirituality, be it sitting on a mountaintop for the rest of your life just meditating. You're still chasing this idea of absolute bliss and oneness with the universe. Be it getting that promotion or finding that perfect wife or having that perfect child or going to that perfect beach. It doesn't matter. We are all chasing it. And I really do think that this is like an inevitable fact of being alive, as you will chase after that one thing that you believe will make you
No,
happy.
but bro, life is literally motion. That is like whoa, like farthest down we can. Life started in motion. It was atoms that start moving and clumping together, and so cells start moving around. And we forage for food. Our entire life is motion, and yes, you might like you're always going to be headed towards a thing. But the realization that that thing you're chasing will bring you no more happiness than you're feeling right now is something that you need to understand. It might be for like 5 seconds, and then what the fuck do you do next? Once you've accomplished that goal, you now need to set a bigger and higher goal, because if you set a lower goal, you're not going to feel so
Then
fulfilled.
what the hell are you living for?
Exactly. So the point is to live, and Soul's point is to understand that you can't chase anything. Everything is only as great as right now is. And that is your choice on how great right now is. Sometimes you don't have as much choice, and it's very hard to be very happy. Like, I'm sorry, we're not gonna act like life is just fantasies and rainbows. The people in Palestine and people in Israel right now aren't very happy. And it's very understandable why they're not very
And
happy.
that's just one case in the world right now.
Yeah, that's just a tiny portion of what is currently plaguing humanity. And it always stems from other people being unhappy. And it's such a, I don't remember where I was taking this, but I had a point. I don't remember. It's fine. That was the point then. If I don't remember, that is the point that the internet and the world wanted.
Did you ever? I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but I don't think there would have been life on this planet if it wasn't for the moon.
No, there wouldn't be. Absolutely, there wouldn't be.
It's the strangest thought to have, that there wouldn't be life on this planet if it wasn't for that giant ball of dust
Yeah,
circling
and you know that the
and
moon
giving gravity off to this Earth. Because if water didn't have motion,
would all
constantly
stagnate.
moving around, life wouldn't have happened the way it has happened right now. Like, that is so bizarre.
Also, do you
That
know
is so
that
bizarre.
the moon is a portion of the Earth? The way the moon formed was about approximately 3 billion years ago. Like half-sized moon asteroid smacked the Earth at something exact like 14.58 degrees, and that caused enough slowdown in the asteroid that's hit it, as well as the chunk of Earth that broke off with it, fell into a gravitational orbit and eventually collided and formed the moon. So almost half, maybe 3/4 of the moon is Earth.
Like, dude. Like the thing is as well,
Cir-
like the
the
moon is also like
circumstances of us being alive right now, everything that had to happen exactly the way it happened for us to be living, breathing creatures right now on this damn planet is magic. And I'm talking mathematically right now as a logical person that believes in physics and causality. It is stupid, improbable it is
Yeah.
for us to be what we are right now. It is absolutely retarded that coincidence and space and time happen in such a way to create this that we are now. It is a miracle beyond measure that people simply don't seem to appreciate on a day-to-day basis. I think we can't fathom it yet. I don't think we've educated our masses enough to completely fathom what it is to be alive.
I think the problem is, dude, is people just don't have that view of it anymore. I think like we are literally a privileged few to be able to like entertain these ideas and to actually talk about these things, dude, because we can entertain ideas without actually accepting it. And it's something that we take for granted, dude. Like think about it. The type of ridiculous stuff that we get up to sometimes. People never don't even want to like consider an idea that is not theirs. Never mind an idea that they don't actually agree with, dude. So people basically numb themselves to this understanding of our world, dude. And like as
They
soon as
don't have this they don't have the strength to process this shit, dude. It's too much.
the
Nah.
It's too
problem is,
much
as soon as
information.
someone that is,
It's
you know, trying to process it, it's like instantly like this inferiority thing that pops up in them as well. And then like there's a fear and there's a judgment that comes up in the person as well. And then it derails them before they actually get any proper help, dude.
the fact that we can simply take mushrooms that let us experience the psychedelic, crazy, unfathomable spectrum is ridiculous to me. The fact that we are put in this time and space where we are able to take a substance that allows us get more of a glimpse beyond our normal mind, that this world naturally put in substances that if we consume them allows us to get a better understanding of what this fucking thing is. It's it's man. Meant to be. It's meant to be.
It's
Dude, like if you look at our evolutionary process as well, we quite literally evolved with mushrooms on this planet, dude. So it literally is meant to be, dude. No backsies.
no
Backsies.
backsies.
No backsies, dude. This is the way it is now. And the thing is as well, like we're trying to prosecute people and stuff about these stuff. And it's medicine, dude. It's literally it's a serotonin antagonist. So it gives your brain something that it produces naturally. And then it gives you more information, dude. And it makes your mind so malleable so that you can change yourself, dude. Something that I believe is invaluable in today's time and age.
Damn, bro.
Something that if used correctly heals so much depression. If used correctly, it can bring in an incredible amount of beauty into your mundane existence. You start to fathom that you really are meaningless, you really are pointless, and at the same time, in everything. Without you, without this tiny little puzzle piece, this minute, microscopic, atomic quark gluon, smaller than that string in the string theory of things, without you, the universe couldn't function. It wouldn't be the universe. Without that tiny, tiny, fucking ridiculously almost nothing thing, it wouldn't be the way it is now.
No, that video we watched on Sunday. Please send me the
Tim
link,
Minchin.
dude.
Yeah, Tim Minchin.
Dude, that ending was "Isn't this enough?" as it starts panning out on the universe was fucking ridiculous, bro. Like,
I have it on my favorites folder. I'm sending it to you right now.
Please
It's Storm,
do.
right?
Yeah, Storm.
like, I cannot fathom this world, and I say that with bliss, bro. Like, I can in every moment of where you sit around you. We've spoken about this so much, but it's so ridiculous. Just everything going on around you. And nah, dude, it's too ridiculous. I can't talk about it. I lose words to explain what I feel.
We're living very fortunate lives, my friends, just to be able to be what we are right now. And that in itself, it's just something to celebrate, dude. It's absolutely something to celebrate.
I agree, man. I agree.
It's not just something to celebrate, it's something to awe at. You know what I mean?
Dude, like, I think the most important practice is just gratitude for it, dude.
That's
Say hi to Dad, Christian.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying hi to Dad. Sorry guys, there's gonna be a bit of noise on my side of things just for a couple of seconds.
No, bro, no worries. I genuinely do think that gratitude is the answer. Like, it is when you start picking apart life and you actually become grateful for the stuff you have, like ears and eyes and a mouth and legs and just intellect.
Intellect,
bro,
is a big one.
Intellect. Realize that you don't have certain things, and what it was something that's interesting to me is when you realize at one stage, okay, I will say this, I don't have it anymore, but one stage I really wanted my eyes to be good. I didn't want to wear glasses. And remembering that feeling of really wanting something that you can't have, like actually can't have, it's not like a boat or a car or something like that you could theoretically go steal, but no, you can't have it. And then you look at everything that you do have, and you realize how much more overwhelming the stuff you do have is than the stuff you don't have. And that was a really big moment for me where you go, wow.
Actually, yeah.
But that's the whole funny argument. The fact that you're simply alive, you're breathing right now, that you're existing, comes back to Alan Watts. I'm sorry I keep bringing this incredible philosopher up, but I think it's worth it. Everyone is chasing so hard after things that they believe will make them be worthy of existing, whereas just existing is already the most incredible, magical, ridiculously unfathomable thing. Just being alive, just breathing, just not being a rock or water or air. Just the fact that you are this fleshy human thing, this incredible contraption that the infinite universe, that the infinite universe has brought into existence. Dude, you are, oh man, people out there, we find so much depression all around us all the time, and it's such a war to come above it.
I think people are just, too scared to fight, really, dude. I don't think people know what they're fighting for sometimes either, actually, realistically. Like people are like in this mode of almost feeling like they've been, you know, victimized of this world. And then they're living in this like base mode of consciousness where they're constantly victimized by the world. And again, it's that whole understanding of the world doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And you are a gift to the world as the world is a gift to you as well. And it's just,
So
you know, moving into that.
It's a dangerous argument in that sense. Because that's where ego steps in, right? And the ego says that reality exists for me. Reality does not exist for you. And it does at the same time.
So I don't believe reality exists for me. I believe there's a really clear distinction between the me and the I, actually. I believe the reality exists for the I, not for me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but you're picturing the I as being the observer of everything happening, the knowing of the universe, the awareness. That
Yeah.
is what you're representing the I as. And in that sense, it means that the world is there, but it's the I awareness that brings it into existence. That doesn't mean that see, I'm just trying to work it out in my head. It doesn't mean that you think it happens for you. I think for you is the wrong word. I think it's more of a thing. I don't know.
That's ego talking. When you say that reality exists for me, that's ego. When you say that I exist for reality, that is truth.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
I did say
yeah.
both though. I don't know if you remember. Like I literally came back with by saying just in the same way that reality happens to me, I'm happening to reality as well. Coming back to your poem, actually, dude.
Long lonely road.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Yeah. It's exactly that. It's that incredible realization, and it comes to everybody in everyone's lives. I can see the long lonely road looming ahead. Oh shit. Sorry. I can see the long lonely road looming ahead, and it calls to me with blackened tongue. It says to me, embrace me as your destiny. And I say unto it, embrace me as yours. For I am not the one that should be scared. For with me I brought bravery, and love, and hope. So it doesn't matter what you face in life, you still have to be strong enough to change what is happening in your life for the better.
I think I just discovered an actual absolute of this universe, and it's hope. I don't think hope can actually not exist as long as there's living
Hope?
things.
Bro, hope is like paramount, sorry, not paramount, but equal to love. It's as powerful. Hope, in fact, it might be even more powerful than love. Hope is a thing that you can always have. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're living in hell for hundreds of thousands, for trillions of years. Hope. Imagine being a demon in hell, and you're
Having
just,
hope. Mhm.
and you still have hope in your heart that says that maybe one day I will earn the right to leave this place. I really like that about Invincible. Did you watch it, Estian?
I haven't actually. I actually
I'm gonna
considered
spoil.
watching it today.
Do not.
I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it slash not spoil it for
Do
people.
not.
There's a demon in Invincible
Oh, okay. Never mind.
that is
Oh, sorry,
Fought-
me muting Christian
is-
is unnecessary.
It is a little bit.
that has found a way to come onto Earth from hell, and all he wants to do is repent for the sins that he has committed
Yeah.
and try and change his way. A demon, a horrible, disgusting, terrible existence that all he wants to do is change everything that he has been and do justice by those that deserve it. And to me, I find that very beautiful because I really do believe that the souls in hell have been through so much suffering that, of course, they want to do better. They want to escape it. They want to learn their lesson. They don't want to keep burning forever.
Yeah.
They don't want to keep getting tortured by the terrible, terrible trials of hell.
So I say
Nobody
absolute.
does. It's ridiculous to think that you would just want to stay in hell and keep getting peeled like a banana by some other fucking higher demon.
Ish, bro, hell must suck. Have you read the
Yeah.
seven? The seven. Is it eight, nine? The what is it? The
9 Circles of Hell.
9 Circles of Hell. Yeah. Have you read them?
I've actually
They're
not read them,
terrifying, bro.
but I do know their implications. I've also watched Dante's Inferno, and I've also read Dante's Inferno. Funny enough, by Dante himself.
Yeah, dude. I actually
I
should
know
read Dante's
I know the
Inferno.
trials. I know the trials. I know the horrors that
Hell.
are described by him, and that doesn't even do them justice. They are
No.
far worse than a simple poet from the Roman era can describe. The point being is that, of course, you would want to get out of there, but the only way out of there is to be a good person, to be a kind person. And that's where I believe that the relationships I've made in my life, the people that I've chosen to be a part of my life, are those people that have already surpassed that trial. You guys are not in hell. You guys are warriors for light. Warriors of light that are trying to spread light, that are trying to do good. And guess what? That job isn't easy either. That job is also a lot of pain. That job is also a lot of failure. But you keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, you can't stop.
The only difference is you're not constantly burning.
Yeah. Hell's sad, man. And you can understand how ancient people got so sick of it and scared of it and didn't want to go there. And I
That,
yeah, I don't know. I
Need to end the podcast actually because we have reached our time limit. It was so fun having
We
a chat
have.
with you boys.
we have. I wish I could find a really enlightening point to bring that entire conversation down to, but it isn't. It's a little melancholy, and we'll leave it on
I
that.
I sometimes fear I'm too opinionated about these things, and I do want to encourage the listeners out there to take a broader perspective on these discussions. That these are not absolutes in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
I don't like talking in absolutes. Opinions
These are
literally everything.
simply opinions.
Yep.
I agree completely, my friends. And that's something I actually try and say a lot as well. Like, I do talk with a lot of conviction sometimes, and it's something you do as well, Christian, and you as well, Johan. We
Mhm.
talk with a lot of conviction, and we have an understanding of what we're talking about. But even though we have this understanding and we talk with this conviction and we believe in what it is we're saying, it doesn't mean that we're saying this is the way that it is and you have to accept it. We're just sharing ideas passionate.
Yeah. Yeah.
For all the listeners out there, it doesn't matter what we say, it doesn't matter what we try to thrust upon you. At the end of the day, you believe what you need to believe in because your circumstances are entirely personal.
Yep.
We
come and we share opinions.
From the bottom of our hearts, we wish you nothing but love and light and happiness and prosperity and luck and calm and peace. It's all any of us can really do, and it's all of us should really do.
Yeah. And with that being said, I love everybody that's here, and I love you two very much. You must have
Love you too, Yuan.
the greatest
Love-
nights.
Two boys. Love you, Christian. Have a good night, my fellow friends.
Love you, boys. Love you, boys, so much. You take care. We'll talk again in the future.
You too, man.
Soon.
Cheers, boys.
Adios, muchachos. Take care.
Good night, everyone.